Let's go over some of the tools you're going to need to disassemble the stock. You're going to need a 3/32 hex key, a 3/16 hex key, a punch, a roll pin punch. This one I have a modified upholstery tool. All I did was sand it a little bit thinner. Brass hammer, bench block, and a metal tray to keep the hardware. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is remove this carbon fiber cheek piece, and that's simply done using this upholstery tool. I said earlier that I modified this by sanding this, and that's beneficial to get underneath the carbon fiber. It's usually a tight fit, and it's only fit on by compression, and there's no glue. So to do that, you just want to place this in the back corner right there, just like that. You want to slide it. Just go straight back. And that should raise it enough for you to just pull it right off. And there you have it. We use the plastic tool just so we don't mar up the finish or gouge the aluminum. Okay, so now that we've removed the carbon fiber cheek piece, we can go ahead and remove this lever. And to do that, we need to remove this set screw. It's a 3/32 screw. Just place that in there. Twist that. You'll have that set screw. I like to place it in a metal dish just so I have all my hardware in one place. You can go ahead and push out this pin here. Little pivot pin. And then this lever will come right out. I also like to remove the set screw that's in this QD slot. And you should get a large spring and a set screw. And you can put that to the side. And now we work on the lever. Once you have the lever removed, you're going to notice that most of the hardware is just in this. What you have here is the buffer tube lug, a pressure plate. There are 2 springs under the pressure plate, a spring here, the trigger, a rod to operate the trigger, and 2 roll pins. So first let's remove the buffer tube lug. So to do that, I grab my bench block, hammer and pin, and just lightly tap. Once that's out, go ahead and put that in our dish. Going to put the block over there for now. You want to go ahead and remember the orientation of this pressure plate. The large radiuses go towards the back, and you also have a countersunk cut there. So you want to push that forward. There are 2 springs underneath. There's not a lot of tension on them, so there's no worry about those springing out. Go ahead and put that plate there. Take these 2 springs out, put them in there. And so the next thing we want to remove is this trigger assembly, and to do that we got to punch out these 2 pins. Alright, now that you have half of the lever removed, we're going to go ahead and remove the trigger release assembly. And that will consist of just removing of these 2 roll pins here. And with that, go ahead and use our bench block, roll pin punch, set it on there. like that, and then the trigger will just come right out. That's what that looks like. Put that in there. Go ahead and take out the rod. And spring. And that's it. You can leave this in there. That won't make any difference. Now that all that's done, all we have left is the butt plate and stock body. And for that, you want to remove this hex bolt with our 3/16 hex key. So you just place that in there, and you want to turn. Bolt in there, and these are dovetailed, so they'll just slide right apart. And those are ready for cutting. To go over this again real quickly, this is a list of parts you should have once you've completely disassembled the stock. A stock body, a butt plate, a lever, carbon fiber cheek rest, pivot rod, 4 springs, 2 screws, a buffer tube lug, pressure plate, 2 roll pins, the release trigger, release rod, and finally the hex bolt together. So we're going to start with the stock body and butt plate. So these are dovetailed. You just want to get them in their groove, slide them together. Next, you want to get your hex bolt, put a little blue on there, Loctite blue 248. I like the paste better, it's easier to work with. So go ahead and drop that screw in there. Done. Just give it a nice little tug, not too much, that's why we put the Loctite on there. That's together. In this step you want to go ahead and add the carbon fiber cheek piece as well. Go ahead and line it up with the F. This is a compression fit, so it's really pretty straightforward and simple. It's all about the alignment. So once you get that on there, you get to push down, it'll click in place, and you just want to go ahead and work your hand around it to get that all seated. And there you go. So the next step in the process is to reassemble this lever, and we're gonna put the trigger assembly on first since that's the trickiest, and I will show you how to do that. Just gotta go slow. And so there's a channel here where this spring goes in. It's a little offset, and so it's right back there. You just drop it in. Next thing you want to do is go ahead and put this rod in like so. And you want to make sure that that's the gap or the offset cut on the rod is in the middle, so like that, because I'll show you that the trigger actually fits into there. So you want to put the trigger in here, and you might have to pull the rod back just a little bit, get it in there like so. Okay, so the trigger, that horn of the trigger is right in that gap. So now you can see clearly the hole all the way through. and so your trigger's lined up. And so the next part is a little bit tricky. Takes a little bit of finger control, but I'll show you slowly how to do that. And you want to go ahead and get your roll pin punch holder and go ahead and give it some oil. Dip it in oil. Go ahead and put it in there like so. Next thing you want to do is that you want to make sure the holes are aligned when you put your pin in. So once you're sure of that, you go ahead and hold your finger down on it, tap through. Should be all the way through. Let's go a little deeper here. There we go. Then I like just take a flat one, tap it a little bit closer. Once you get to that point, you take your roll pin punch with the little nub on it and just tap it in until it's a little lower than the surface. Check both sides, make sure. Okay, so as you notice, when you hit a pin, they tend to get a little bit shiny like that. What you can do is take some Aluma Black on a Q-tip and put it on there and kind of blow on it. The oxidation kind of helps the metal turn black. And then what you want to make sure you do is take it off with an oily rag, because that Aluma Black will corrode the finish. So you don't want to leave it on there like overnight or anything like that. You want to get that cleaned off, and oily rag, clean it off, and then clean it off with dry rag, of course. So we'll do the back pin now. And for that, dip it in oil. Yeah. And you want to finish it off with roll pin punch. Okay, that looks good, nice and countersunk. And next part, we're going to go ahead and put these springs for the pressure plate in, and then remember the radius side to the back, as well as the countersunk on top. So you just put it in there. It's slotted, so you just kind of push down the spring. It's in there. You go ahead and put this one. Now, if you look at this, there's a tapered side to it, and so you want this tapered side in the hole first. Put it in there. You just want to give it a couple gentle hits. Not much. You'll notice that you just want to get it close to the surface. It doesn't have to be flush. You can go a little more, and you can tell by the sound that it makes when you hit it. That's solid, and so that's as far as you need to go. Okay, we're down the home stretch, and we just got to add the two halves here. So go ahead and put the lever on there. Drop the pin in there. Okay. Get the set screw. Put some Loctite on here already. So you want to go ahead and there to a point, and you want to make sure you're centering this pin here, and you just want to put the set screw and kind of just give it a nice little 1/8 of a twist there. Then you want to drop this spring in here, the set screw. Go ahead and tighten this a little bit. Function test. Grab your buffer tube, set it in here. Lock it in, do a little quick function test again. Yep, spring action works, pressure plate's in there correctly. Yep, works great. There you go. As always, please remember to contact us if you have any questions or concerns at all. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe and share it if you can.